So chapter 4 of Gibbons discusses speaking to writing in the content classroom. So it begins by introducing the mode continuum of speaking to writing. And within this continuum, academic abstract language is therefore not simply about vocabulary. It is also reflected in the grammar, and there's also kind of blurred lines because of technology such as email and text messages. It makes it more difficult to kind of understand whether it's more spoken-like or more written-like, as we can see here. But moreover, texts are no longer dependent on the situation in which they occur. Gibbons also introduces the concept of lexicogrammar, which is grammar and vocabulary. And also the idea of literate talk, which is written like spoken language. And then it goes into more so an example of an experiment. So these are the steps. So beginning, the first step is the students do an experiment in small groups. Following that, the second step, the teacher introduces key vocabulary. And the third step, there's teacher-guided reporting. And then the final step, there is journal writing, which is individually done by the students. So right here we can see how literate talk serves as a bridge between activity-related talk and more formal written registers of subject learning. More specifically, children gradually learn to use language in ways that are more appropriate to the context they are in, such as this example, it's a science class. So here we can see the first step of doing an experiment. And we can see again here how small group work supports learning. And then stage 2 is when the teacher will introduce key vocabulary. And the key thing I wanted to point out here was how learning and explaining phenomena, or specifically the academic language through more everyday language before being introduced to new academic language is key here. So being able to give students exposure to these words and ideas and concepts and working with them before you're actually giving them the actual academic vocabulary, so they're able to make those connections more easily, which is also very essential for English language learners. So next is the third step, which is the teacher-guided reporting. This stage, the teacher's role in guided reporting is crucial, especially for English learners, or English language learners, sorry. So here we can see an example of this, the continuous level of support, high support for students, to keep pushing them to finally get their final thoughts out, and to not give up on what they have to say. So they relate what they have learned to things that they already know, and encourage also stretch language that we saw in previous chapter 2. And also I would like to touch on using children's personal knowledge and prior knowledge to connect what they already know to new concepts and ideas. I feel like this is a very important thing to do as educators. It serves to create a bridge for learners between personal ways of understanding a phenomenon through everyday language and the broader concepts and language. So I feel like this is very essential, and we need to ensure that we are doing this as future educators, because as Gibbons says, prior knowledge provides a cognitive hook on which to hang new language. So this is going to help English language learners understand, and once they're able to bring their experiences and understandings that they already have, they're also able to engage and most likely have more interest in the material as well. And yeah, that's basically it. Thank you. Bye.